Watching your local television network, TSPN. And now, authors, writers, books, and beyond. This program also streams live on the web at TSPNTV.com and can be watched on demand at TSPNTV.com or TSPN TV's YouTube channel. And now, authors, writers, books, and beyond.
Hi, my name is Kathy Boyd Fellure, and I'd like to welcome you to the November Authors, Writers, Books, and Beyond show. I have three wonderful guests for you to meet today, and all involving books and marketing, publicity, and children. So before I get into those introductions, I'm going to talk a little about the bookstore we are next to that has this event tonight. Oh, that's so cute. Hein & Company, and tonight there's a major event going over there upstairs at Baker Street West. They have books, rare, used, and new. They support local authors. You can find John, your book and my book there. Mm-hmm. And they offer more of a variety as they're building 7 new businesses upstairs. I believe the pub is near finished. Baker Street West, Mrs. Hudson's Tea Shop, and the Apothecary. And they have, I believe, a candy shop and a toy shop still coming. So that is where Amateur Fiction Writers meets for our critique group now, full-time. And if you want it, you can find it there. Trust me, they even have steampunk and vintage Victoriana clothing for plays. Check it out. Make sure you have time. It is a destination here in Jackson. Make sure you have time to spend in there. You're not going to get in and out, and certainly go upstairs. There's a little hammering and stuff Wolf's busy creating over there, but they're very happy to show you their progress. So Hein & Company next door. And I'm going to talk a little bit about an event that was just held this Saturday at the Folsom Library by the California Writers Club. That's me there with Shirley Seastrand. I was one of the authors there for a panel and 20 author book signing and sale. Shirley is with the CIMA Media Group, women's group in Sacramento. And there was also, on this photo, you will see me on the end with Mark Wiederanders, who will be on my show, who wrote Stevenson's Treasure about Robert Louis Stevenson. Nancy Lee Woody, who's been on, wearing her award medal we forgot to talk about on the show. And she helped arrange this with Margie Yee Webb, that is standing next to her. And that is Cindy Sample, a Placerville author that writes cozy mysteries. And Mark and all of us there except Margie were on the panel. That was fascinating, and the keynote speaker is not in there, but I would like to mention Ken because it was a wonderful talk, wonderful literary event for families. And the same time as that event, and you can look up California Writers Club, I'm a member, even though I founded Amateur Writers here. The same day Folsom had art house-to-house show. So they did the 2 literary events, books and art. And this was one of my previous guests. Her name's Tanya Colleen Martin. And she came on as an author and an artist. This is new for her. This is a new book. This is her art. This is called Rest. And this is a poem that she drew these grids of art for, and they're now in book form. I was thrilled to see this. After I left the literary event, I went to Tanya's house, and I wanted to see her display. It was phenomenal. I'm going to give you that website. It's Tanya, and that's TONIA.Colleen@gmail.com. And what a great concept for artists now, too, that are also writers. I want to show you my favorite picture, this one here. But she had 2 of these out, working on a 3rd. So for you illustrators out there, and I have 2 for my children's books, this is a nice new concept for you, something new in the writing world. I'll get to the magazine below later. I'm going to introduce Eddie Clayton on my right. Thank you for coming, Eddie.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And John Takacs on my left.
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. Amazing author and marketer. And Gwen Clayton, who is here for publicity, and she's also a writer.
Thank you for having me, Kelly.
Thank you for coming. Gwen used to be in Amateur Writers with Sarah, who's behind the camera here.
Hi, Sarah.
and John, who used to come on the show. John Well, now he's Stenhug. He has a pen name. Are you using a pen name?
No.
No?
You told me not to.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I learned in Writer's Circle was not to use a pen name.
Actually, you really shouldn't, but John, being that he moved back to Sweden, went with a Swedish name. So we're going to start. I'm going to leave it with you to do an intro. We'll go around the table. Introduce yourself.
Oh, hello, everyone. My name is Gwen Clayton. I am a freelance writer and publicist. I have been working on my novel for the past 15 years, but it's currently on hiatus. I was part of Kathy's fiction writers group, but I had to go back to work because we were furloughed. So I have a day job at the county, and we were furloughed for 3 years, so that gave me an opportunity to be part of your writers group, which meets on Fridays.
Yeah,
but I went back to work, and I'm very happy to have a full paycheck now.
And are you still writing for the paper?
I freelance for the Folsom Lake Entertainer, and I send Jack all my press releases that I write for all my clients. So he's very good about printing them.
So they go in the Sierra Lodestar and the Ledger Dispatch?
And the Ledger Dispatch.
Both papers. Wonderful. Keep that in mind out there. And John?
John Takacs. Actually, I write under John Raymond Takacs, which is my two grandfathers' names, John and Raymond. And I'm an author. I've been an author for a long time. I started writing in 1992. Remember, that was last century, a long time ago. And I was fortunate enough to have the Takacs come out, which won three different.
Can you show it to everybody?
Yeah. This one won 3 awards. It won a Best Book Award, and it won a gold medal, which was the Best Fiction Award. In the highly prestigious Military Writers Society of America, their thing. It's the only 2 contests I ever entered. I won them both, so I thought that was kind of cool. But this is funny. I brought this book because my editor called me yesterday and said we need to redo this on an electronic format because this has a lot to do with terrorists, and everybody's really,
Cued in.
we're all talking terrorism again. And that's too bad. That's just how it is. But I actually wrote the sequel to this 4 years ago, and she's kind of on my, case to get it out. And I'm just kind of lazy. And in the meantime, I wrote something else, and we're going to talk about it later, I suppose.
Well, mention it now.
Well, okay. After I finished writing the sequel to this book, and the sequel, I just called it Takacs 2 for the longest time. Now it's known as Sealed Truths. And when I finished that, and this is the truth and how this whole thing works, when you're a writer and you finish, you're really happy, but you're very sad at the same time.
True.
You're happy because it's finally done, and holy cow, it's been 14 years or a year, or it takes a while. And so I'm really happy, but at the same time you get a little sad because your characters who are so real to you are all going bye-bye, see you. And so I live in Pioneer, and it's in the middle of January, and I'm sitting in my chair like this, slumping like I always do, and I'm like, it's snowing outside, and I look down, and my stomach is like hanging way over my belt, and I went, holy cow, I got to get in shape. And so I did. I started exercising again, and I really started exercising again. And I really, really, really started exercising. How much did I exercise? This year, after 4 years of doing a lot of different things, different kind of stuff, I actually set a world's record in Ironman triathlon.
Wow.
I did 4 Ironman triathlons in 3 months, and I was the first 64-year-old, person ever to do that. And right now, I just checked before I came, I'm still ranked in the top 10% in the world. That's kind of cool, isn't it?
Pretty darn good.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Now, I want you
Gives
to
me
know.
some hope.
And none of it was on purpose, really. I just kind of got into all this. And what happened was, because I'm a writer and I started doing this, the idea hit me, the germ, the thing that makes writers come up with a book. And I did come up with a book. And I've written this book, and it's called Doing a 180 at 60. And a 180 being a reverse, turning around, doing a course reversal, U-turn. And when I started this, I had no idea I was going to go do all these things, but I wrote 60 things down that I had already done in my life. Skydiving, scuba diving, bicycles, just running, marathons, all kinds of stuff that I've already done. I thought, can I redo those things? I mean, can we redo them at 60? And I thought, this is a philosophical question, because my philosophy was always, if you don't do it while you're young, you'll never be able to do it when you get older.
Oh, so true.
It's not.
I know.
It's not true.
Giving him fodder.
I know, it's not true. I thought it was true,
He
though. I really
dispels
did.
So I can wait until I'm 60 to get in shape?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But
I
I-
got 15 more years.
Oh, I'm right there.
Yeah.
As of July, I'm right there.
So
Well,
anyhow,
I
that's
want
where
you-
that book came from.
Okay, we are going to get into that when we come back, and I want to get to Eddie before we go to break and talk a little about yourself.
My name's Eddie Clayton, and I am retired military. I am currently a member of the Marine Corps League, Motherlode Detachment, Post 1080 here in Sutter Creek. And I am the Amador Coordinator for the Toys for Tots program, the Marine Corps Toys for Tots program. And I'm here to talk about a book drive that I want to start later next year, the beginning of next year.
And the idea is to give all the kids a book, not
Yes.
just a toy, but a book.
Correct.
This children's writer absolutely loves that idea. I was thrilled when Eddie came to us. We're going to get more into that because we're about ready to go to break. But that is a wonderful program to get them reading too. And even the toy part of it, so they're not just on electronics.
Right.
And
Yes.
they're actual print books.
Yes.
Correct, yeah. I'm a big print book fan.
It's not as fun to open an electronic book at Christmas.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, come back. Here you have a little sneak peek into what we're going to be talking about for the next 3 segments. So there is definitely someone of interest here for you, and I hope you will come back, join us again, and learn some more. See you in a little bit.